Hello, dear students. Uh, my name is Saif Abdi. I am Associate Professor at School of Management, BBD University. So today I'll be discussing uh, uh, a topic on advertising and brand management for Bcom students, Bcom third year students, and I'll be doing Unit 2 for you guys. And the topic today, which I'll be covering, is advertising message. So, to start with, what do we understand by advertising message? So, advertising message is nothing but it is the point that the advertiser is trying to convey to the customer through words or pictures. So, So basically, when you see an ad or when you go through an ad in a newspaper or when you see an ad on internet or when you watch an ad on television or any form of advertisement, the message which is coming across from that advertisement is the advertisement message. So the point which the advertiser is trying to convey to the customer, that is the advertisement message. Now, basically, the advertising campaigns are focused on conveying an advertising message to a target audience, okay, in order to convince them to basically purchase a product or avail a service. Then, to investigate the brand further, and finally, the audience should remember the brand name. So these are the three main things which the advertiser focuses on. So I'll just repeat: to purchase the product or service, to investigate the brand further, and to make the customer remember the brand name. So these are the three things which the advertiser wants to come out of the advertising message. Now, if we go deep into the advertising message, so first let's look at what does the advertising message look like. So, what is basically the structure, or we can say what are the components of a advertising message. So, first comes the appeal. What is the appeal of the advertising message? So this basically refers to the underlying idea that captures the attention of the message receiver. So appeals can fall into various categories like emotional, fearful, humorous, or sexual. So this is called as the advertising message appeal. So if we look at an example, for example, if you look at Mentos, if you most of you would have seen the advertisement of Mentos, which comes on TV. Its the punchline is "Dimag ki batti jala de." So here the appeal is humorous. Similarly, if we look at an advertisement of, for example, Axe deodorant. So in Axe deodorant, the appeal is sexual. Likewise, if we look at an ad of a helmet which is done by government of India, where you see a person who is not using a helmet or somebody who is not using who is using a mobile phone while driving. So these things, and the person dies or meets with an accident. So the appeal there is fear. So basically, they are trying to uh, generate fear in you so that you start using helmet while driving a mobile, or you stop using mobile phones while driving. So this is appeal. Now the second one is value proposition. Now basically the advertisement message more often than not contains a reason for the customers to be interested in the product. Uh, so basically what happens is the advertisement message basically will emphasize the benefits obtained if you will use that product. So again, if we look at an example, so for example, the Head and Shoulders shampoo. So they say that it is with ZPTO and all that kind of technology, and basically the advantage it gives is that they say that there you will be free from dandruff if you use Head and Shoulders shampoo. So that is the value proposition you get when you use I'm not saying use because uh, what they show in ad is totally different. So ultimately, but at least they are trying to show that in the advertisement that if you will use Head and Shoulders, you won't have dandruff, or you will get freedom from dandruff. Likewise, if you see the ads of Maruti cars, so they emphasize on mileage, that the Maruti cars give good mileage. They give Maruti also emphasizes in their ads about the service station, the low cost spare parts, and availability of service stations across India. So this is what they are emphasizing, that if you will, for example, buy a Maruti car, these benefits you will get from the Maruti cars. So these are a few examples which are of value proposition. Now next part of the advertisement structure is slogan. Now basically slogan is made uh, so that the product is able to position itself in the customer's mind, and the customer is able to distinguish it from the competitors offering. So for example, as I said, that if you look at Pepsi, पेप्सी का जो स्लोगन है या पंच लाइन भी जिसे हम बोलते हैं, इफ यू सी दैट इट इज डिस्टिंक्टिव, अगर आप पेप्सी का एक स्लोगन बोलते हो तो फौरन आपको आप डिफरेंशिएट कर लेते हो कि कोक का स्लोगन क्या है या पेप्सी का स्लोगन क्या है। या अभी जैसे मैंने अपील में बताया था, जैसे मेंटोस है, जैसे ही कोई बोलता है दिमाग की बत्ती जला दे, तो वैसे ही आपके दिमाग में क्लिक होता है कि दे आर टॉकिंग अबाउट Mentos. So that is slogan. So that is also the part of the advertising message. So these were the three parts of advertising message. Now, how to make a effective advertising message? So first of all, you have to be very specific when you are making a advertising message. So first of all, advertisements are very costly, mostly. So if you want to advertise on television, or if you want to advertise in a on a good platform, like like for example, if you're doing it on internet, you are going on Facebook or Instagram or some other website, popular website, or if you are putting up a hoarding in a city, so things like, so normally advertisements are expensive, so you don't have much space, or you don't have much time to convey your message. So that's why you have to be specific. And when you are specific, and that also saves your time, money, and you are able to hit the nail on its head, and make the effect on the customer. Then second is, you always have to talk about the competitive edge of the product over the competition. So जैसे मैंने अभी बताया था हेड एंड शोल्डर्स का, कि डैंड्रफ वाले शैम्पूज बहुत आते हैं मार्केट में, but how they are telling about their competitive edge, they are telling us that head and shoulders had ZPTO. आप लोग को अगर ऐड याद हो तो उसमें आता है ZPTO युक्त. सो दे आर टेलिंग दैट वी हैव समथिंग इन एक्स्ट्रा इन आवर ब्रांड, और वो उनके मैसेज में भी होता है. जब आप देखेंगे तो पंच लाइन में, मैसेज में, हर जगह रहता है ZPTO युक्त. सो दैट मीन्स दैट uh, that is something extra which they are giving, and based on research, and that is helping the shampoo to reduce the uh, dandruff. So that is about competitive edge. Now, the third one is, which is very important, that always use headlines and subheadings to get the message across. So it should not be that you just make a long line of say 10 20 words, and then so that will confuse the customer or prospective customer. What you need to do is that you make a short headline, and then further, if you want to convey more things, you can put two or three subheadings. So that is how it can be made more effective. Now, then the fourth one is, this is very interesting, that there should be plenty of white space to make it easy for the customer to see the important points. So this is nothing but visually how you are impacting the customer. So so by white space, it means that wherever you are putting the message, that space should be clear. So it should not be that Amitabh Bachchan is endorsing your product, for example, in print media, or on a hoarding, your message is on his red colored shirt or his floral shirt. So what will happen? That people will not be able to clearly read the advertising message. The clarity would be not there, the visibility will not be clear, and so that's why it's specifically mentioned that there should be plenty of white space in and around the message, so that the customer can read your message properly. Then again, it says simple and clear. So, simplicity, as we say in communication, whichever type of communication, you have to follow the KISS philosophy, which is keep it short and simple. So earlier we had seen that we need to keep the message short or specific. Now its second part of communication also comes here, which is simple. So it should not be, for example, too much technological things, or too many jargons over there, which a normal citizen or a normal customer is not able to understand. Now, then the other thing is that the message should be such that the customer is motivated to buy the product now, at present. The message should be such that it motivates the customer to buy the product uh, uh, within a few minutes or within a few hours. It should not be such that the customer says that, okay, I like the product, everything is there, but okay, I'll buy it next month. So that should not be the case. The message should be such that uh, the customer is motivated to buy it right now. So it should be action oriented. So for example, if you have seen that many advertising messages say that hurry, offer closes now, or for example, hurry, limited stocks. So these kinds of things are put in the advertising message, so that the so if I like the, for example, product, but it says that limited stock, so I will try to buy it as soon as possible, because I had seen on the message that the limited stocks. So that means that the stocks can finish anytime, and they are very less. So I would like to avail that opportunity, or I would like to buy that product ASAP, that is as soon as possible. Now, next is positioning. So the message should be able to position the product properly. So, for example, be it the price of the product, be it the use of the product. So, all these things should be there in the message. So, based on the target audience, so you should be able to position your product, and that positioning should reflect in the advertising message. Now, next is be relevant. Relevant is nothing but your message should be uh, as per the timing. So if summers are coming, then your advertising message, it should not be that your the message is somehow relating to winters and you are showing it in summers. So, or likewise, for example, fashion things, the your advertisement message is something uh, which is out of fashion. So there are many aspects to it. So basically, in all on all counts, your message should be relevant to the audience. So, and one more thing, and the audience also. So you have to look at the or from the audience perspective as well. Next is where you have the liberty to break the rules. So no, it doesn't mean that you are not bound by rules. So you have, because for creativity you need to think out of box, and unless and until you think out of the box, the creativity will not be there. So you have to think out of the box. So that reminds me of one example which I would like to share with you guys. This was uh, in the year 1996 when the cricket world cup happened in India, and just a few years back, 4 5 years back, Pepsi and Coke has launched their soft drinks in India. And there was a, as is across the world, they had a fierce rivalry in India as well. Now this big ticket event coming up, which was the cricket world cup, both Coke and Pepsi were trying to get the official sponsorship tag for themselves, and and the bidding etc. was on, and finally Coke won that bidding, and they were called the official soft drink partners of the Cricket World Cup. So this was a big setback for Pepsi, which was trying to uh, get hold in the Indian market. So what they did was that their ad agency just quickly started working on an ad campaign, and uh, they came up with a ad campaign जिसका punchline था Pepsi, nothing official about it. And believe me, this punchline was so effective, this advertisement message was so effective that during that World Cup and even after that, Pepsi was more popular brand than Coke. And also there was other aspects as well, like Pepsi had got on their, they had got Sachin Tendulkar and Dominic Cork and Azharuddin and Ajay Jadeja, and most of the top cricket stars of Courtney Walsh etc., the top cricket stars of that point of time as their brand ambassador. So that was also one effective way. But the punchline was a major game changer. And in fact, after even after spending millions of rupees on getting the official sponsorship for the Cricket World Cup, Coke was a loser just because of a effective advertising message from Pepsi. So this is how uh, uh, an advertising message can change the market scenario or change the demand of your product, or or help you beat the competition. Now let's look at the message creation factors. So when you create a message, what factors you should look into? First of all is obviously the most important one, which is the target audience. So you need to look at who is your target audience. So for example, the demographics of the audience. So for example, their age, the location, the attitude, their eating habit, their living habit, depending on the product, and what impact it should make on the audience through the conveyed message. Then second is also the one of the most important factor is the type of media used. So for example, if you're using a television or a outdoor media like a hoarding, or you are using a transit media like a bus or a train, or you are using print media or internet. So this is the second most important aspect of message creation. Then third is the product itself. So whether the product is a complex product, like maybe a mutual fund or a insurance policy where there is lot of terms and condition and technical things, or is it a simple product? So all these things matter a lot. So generally, if you look at an advertisement of a mutual fund or a financial product, or a life insurance policy, or maybe a scientific instrument or things like these, you will you will see that those advertisement messages are very detailed because the product demands so. But if it's a simpler product, so like a soap or a tea, or maybe a t-shirt, garment, or a shoe, the message is quite simpler. So that's and then and obviously you have to tell about the product features, its uses, its benefits, or if applicable, how it is better than the competitor or the competitive edge it has. Then finally, uh, the objective of the advertisement. Um, so that is that is the last thing which you will keep in mind while making a message. Now the next part is the advertising message testing. So what I'll do is that I'll since advertising message testing is a very long topic, I'll try to start this, and let's discuss this for a while. We'll see what is advertising message testing and how it is done and other aspects, but we'll do it in two parts. So to start with, what is advertising message testing? So basically, advertising message that before an advertisement is uh, put on air, or basically premiered on television or internet, uh, there are basically focus groups where the advertisement messages are presented, and then based on the results which we get uh, from the focus group, we come to know, and or we try to understand that whether the advertisement is effective or not. So basically, testing is done to see the effectiveness of the advertisement. Now there are many types of testing which are done. So sometimes, for example, on internet, uh, there are random ads exposed on the websites. and then we see how the audience is responding to it. Then there are various other methods which we will look into, where we say, for example, we give magazines and we place the ad in between, and we see that whether the ad was able to make an effect on the person reading the magazine. Or there is also a testing call where we watch the eyeballs of the reader. This is basically for print media advertisement. So how much time the he was actually looking at the advertisement. Then we also have a technique called advertisement recall, where an advertisement is shown either in print media, or a few, in fact a few advertisements are shown. And then when once done, we ask the person that we'll try to see that what all he remembers, or if he remembers the advertisement at all or not. So things like these. So there are various methods of advertisement testing which we will look into further. Now, before looking into the method, let's look at the steps which are taken while doing the testing of advertising message. So there are basically 6 steps: immersion, ideation, brain fog, incubation, illumination, and evaluation. So immersion it's basically involves reading. Uh, it's basically a research about the given problem, and then gathering raw material and information through background research and immersing oneself in the problem. So as the name suggests, immersions, you are deeply you get inside the problem deeply, and you gather raw material and information through background research, and then you immerse yourself in the problem. Now, ideation is nothing but it is trying to bring out ideas, forming or alternative ideas. So this stage looks at the problem from every angle in order to develop ideas and generate as many alternatives as possible. Now, brain fog is the stage where basically the creative person is uh, is like almost done with it, and he's like, okay, I'm quitting. So this, as the name suggests, that the clarity in the brain is gone. There is a lot of confusion, and he is quite frustrated. Incubation is basically some is a stage where the creative person lets his subconscious mind take over, and you ask your subconscious mind to do the work, and you just let the ideas develop. Now next is illumination. This is like you are thinking over something, and suddenly a idea pops up. So this is called as illumination. So like what happened with the scientist, where he shouted "Eureka, Eureka," which means "I have found it, found it." So he was taking a bath, and suddenly he got that idea, and he started shouting "Eureka, Eureka." So that is like a flash. Something comes. It happens with all of us. Like a flash, something comes. Some idea, some brilliant idea comes to your mind. So that is illumination. Evaluation, as the name suggests, is uh, judging the resulting ideas. So basically, how you judge the how you so you have n number of ideas, and you now have to take a decision. So you have to judge that which idea is the best. So these were the stages of um advertising message testing. Now, next is factors in message development. So basically, there are three factors in message development. Or we know there are these are basically three C's: customer, company, and competitive positioning. So customer is nothing but the target audience. Company is the product for which you are making the advertisement, and competitive positioning is how you are positioning that product in the market. So if we look at the first one, which is the customer, so there are few things which we need to keep into mind: the demographic characteristics like the age, sex, region, and all these things, the physical profile. Then the psychographic characteristics. Psychographic characters is that something related to the psychology, that what is the living pattern, what is their behavior, what are the activities, what is the interest, and all these things. Then the decision process, how you can influence the customer to buy your product. Then the company or the product, as we had seen. So what are the distinctive attributes of your product? uh, then So basically, what we had seen earlier, that how you can place your product as different from the other products available in the market. जिसमें मैंने ZPTO वाला एक एग्जांपल आप लोगों को बताया था कि शैम्पूज बहुत हैं, एंटी डैंड्रफ शैम्पू भी बहुत हैं, बट हेड एंड शोल्डर्स कैसे अपने आप को एक डिस्टिंक्टिव चीज बता के अपने को सेल करता है. देन कंपटीशन. देन आजकल इफ यू सी ओवरऑल, चाहे वो इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स हो या एफएमसीजी हो या सर्विसेज हो, हर जगह देयर इज टू मच कंपटीशन. So for competition, you need to have a distinctive image. So when you say, for example, when you look at a Nike or Adidas, you know that their image is such that you know that if you buy a Nike or a Adidas or a Reebok or a Puma, you will get that value for money. You those these are brand names. You will get value for money. You will get a social high with all these things. So likewise, if you wear a Tissot watch, or you wear a Cartier watch, so these kind of things give you a distinct image. Then you want to have a share of consumers mind. uh, then when given a choice to the customer, uh, the the customer should choose your brand over the competition. So I'll end the topic here only, and in the next session we will continue with the advertising message. So basically, we'll see how the message is generated, the evaluation, selection, rating, and execution, and furthermore in the advertising message. Thank you, class.